शुक्लांबरधरं विष्णुं शशिवर्णं चतुर्भुजं प्रसन्नवदनं ध्यायेत् सर्वविघ्नोपशान्तये। श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानामालयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पादशङ्करं लोकशङ्करम्। Namaste. Now we will see the meanings of Shri Vishnu Sahasranama based on Shri Shankaracharya Bhashya, verse 55. First, we will see the verse. Jivo vinayita sakshi mukundo mita vikramaha ambho nidhiranantatma mahodatishayontakaha. The namas herein are Jivaha Vinayita Sakshi Mukundaha Amita Vikramaha Ambonidhihi Anantatma Mahodadhishayaha Antakaha. There are 8 namas here. We will see the meanings of each of these one by one. The first nama is Jivaha. Pranan Kshetra Rupena Dharayan Jivaha Uchyate. The one who supports the pranas in the form of the field. So the word Jivaha. Jiva refers to the Jivatman or the individual soul. Acharya says it is the Jivatman that supports the Kshetra. Kshetra refers to the body and also the prana and the senses that are associated with it. In Bhagavad Gita, we see Shri Krishna, Bhagavan Shri Krishna stating, Idam Shariram Kaunteya Kshetram Ityabhidhiyate. So Kshetra refers to the body, the prana, senses, all that is associated with that. The Jivatman who supports, who enlivens that Kshetra, that field, is again none other than the Paramatman, Bhagavan Narayana. The second nama is Vinayita Sakshi. This nama has been presented in 2 ways in the commentary. Either it is Vinayita Sakshi as one term or Vinayita and Asakshi, 2 terms. So based on these splittings of the words, Acharya has given the commentary. Let's first consider the commentary where the term or the nama is taken as Vinayita Sakshi, one single compound term. Vinayitvam Vinayita Tam cha Sakshat Pashyati Prajanamiti. Vinayitvam or Vinayita refers to humility and wisdom that is achieved through learning. The one who directly perceives Vinayitva or Vinayita of all the beings is Vinayita Sakshi. So the first component Vinayita has been presented by Acharya as Vinayitva. Vinaya is a quality of humility. So Vinayitva being endowed with Vinaya is Vinayitva, and it also comes through learning and experiential wisdom. So Sakshi, the one who perceives. So being the Paramatman, the Sarvajna, he monitors, he observes the progress of each and every Jivatman as to how they are evolving in wisdom and humility, and thereby they are slowly moving to the path of transcendence of worldly sufferings and traveling towards moksha. So the one who watches, the one who keeps a watch on the progress of the Jivatmans as Vinayita Sakshi is celebrated here by this Nama. Now we will see the second interpretation where the term is split as Vinayita and Asakshi. So there first Vinayita अथवा नयतेर gativaachino rupam vinayita, or it may be derived from the root ni, that means movement. So then it would mean that the one who leads or the one who facilitates the movement of the individual souls towards liberation. So the Paramatman, who is the Margadarshaka for all the Mumukshus. So in that sense, we will see the word Vinayita, or we see the word Vinayita being interpreted here. Then the next part is Asakshi. Asakshi, asakshat drashta, atmatiriktam vastu, na pashyati ityarthaha. This is an interesting term. The one who does not perceive anything other than the Atman, the pure consciousness. So, it is commonly known in the Vedantic lore, Sakshi, Cheta, Kevalo, Nirgunascha. So it is mentioned that the pure consciousness, the Atman or the individual soul that resides is the Sakshi, is the witness that watches everything. But Acharya here clearly mentions that the consciousness does not watch anything or is not connected with any other thing. It is always established in its pure conscious nature alone. So that concept of the eternal nature, eternal pure nature of the Atman is brought out through this term asakshi. Though it could well have been split as a sakshi, Acharya here clearly splits it as asakshi to clearly indicate even the nature of witnessness that is attributed to Atman is also not the absolute nature. In reality, Atman is asakshi, purely conscious awareness nature alone, and it is not connected with any other thing. So, to drive home that idea of eternal purity, of pure consciousness, this term has been split and interpreted by Acharya as Asakshi, the one who does not perceive anything other than his own pure conscious nature. The next nama is Mukundaha. Muktim dadati ti Mukundaha. The one who grants liberation is Mukunda. So in the previous namas, we saw references to the one who leads to liberation. So that is again emphasized and clearly stated by this term Mukunda, where Bhagavan is presented as the one who grants liberation. The next nama is Amita Vikramaha. There are a couple of interpretations here. Amita, Aparichinna Vikramaha, Trayaha Pada Vikshepaha Asya. The one whose 3 footsteps were unlimited. So in this first interpretation, again we see in the compound term Amita Vikramaha, Amita and Vikrama. So Vikrama is derived, that is Vikramana is derived from the root Kramu Pada Vikshepe, means step, footstep. So stride. So that is what is intended by the root Kramupada Vikshepe, from which the word Vikrama has been derived. So simply going based on the root meaning, the word Vikrama would simply mean stride, foot stride, keeping the step ahead. So how was the foot stride that is being described here? Amita means unlimited. Mita is limited, Amita unlimited. So the strides could measure things which are very vast. So the one to whom this Amita Vikrama belonged to means the one whose strides were unlimited. So in the Vamanavatara, Bhagavan in his 3 strides he measured the immeasurably vast universe. The entire universe was just measured by the 3 great steps of Bhagavan, and hence he is celebrated as Amita Vikramaha in this first interpretation. There is a second interpretation, Amitam Vikramanam Shauryam Asyeti va, the one whose valor is great, immeasurable. So here also the term, the nama has 2 components, Amita and Vikrama. So in this context, the word Vikrama is interpreted as Shauryam. Shauryam is valor. So the one whose valor is Amitam, immeasurable. In the various avatars of Bhagavan Narayana, we see his great immeasurable valor as Rama, as Krishna, as Parashurama. So his valor, he exhibited great valor to establish dharma and to uproot adharma. The next nama is Ambonidhi. Here also the nama has a couple of interpretations. The first one is Ambhamsi Devadayaha Asmin Nidhiyante iti. The one in whom the Devas and others are established. So here the term Ambonidhi in the first interpretation has 2 components, Ambhas and Nidhi. So Nidhiyante iti Nidhihi. So the one in which everyone is established. So that is referred to as Nidhi. And Ambhas here is interpreted as the Devas and others. So towards this, Acharya quotes or refers to the Taittiriya Brahmana Veda portion where the word Ambhas has been given the meaning the Devas and other beings. So we see the Taittiriya Brahmana mantra Tani va etani chatvari jambhagamsi deva manushya pitaro suraha. So the devas, the manushyas, the pitrus and the asuras, the gods, the human beings, the departed souls, the ancestors, the mains and the asuras, the demons. So these are the 4 beings who are indicated by the term Ambhas in the Vedas. So the one in whom all these jivatmans, be them the devas, the manushyas, the pitrus or asuras, so he is upon him or in him that all these beings, all these jivatmans are established. So that is the meaning of the first interpretation, Ambonidhi. The second interpretation we see Sagarova or the ocean. So Ambonidhi in the general sense means an ocean. Nidhihi is a great source. Ambhas is water in the general meaning of it. So the great reservoir of water, the great source of water is Sagara. Among all the water bodies, the vast, deep, immeasurable, majestic water body or entity made up of water is the Sagara. So such a great manifestation is celebrated as divinity. So in the same vein, we see in the Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavan himself says, Sarasamasmi Sagaraha. Among all sources of water, I am the ocean. The next nama is Anantatma. Deshatah, Kalatah, Vastutashcha Aparichinnatvat Anantatma. The one who is not limited by space, time, and object. So Anantatma has two components, Ananta and Atma. Atma is form or nature, and Ananta is that which is without an end, na anta. So the one whose form or nature is limitless, without a limit. Normally limit happens by space, by time, or object. So the one who is bereft of all these spatio-temporal and other competing object of the same nature. So the one to whom there is none equal or above. Na tvat samaha cha abhyadhikaha. So such a great omnipresent entity, divinity is Bhagavan Narayana, celebrated by the term Anantatma. The next nama is Mahodadhishayaha. Samhritya sarvabhutan yekarnavam jagatkritva adhishete mahodadhimiti. The one who withdraws all the created beings, makes them into one great ocean and rests on it. So here Mahodadhishayaha has three components: Mahat, Udadhi, and Shaya. So Shete means the one who reclines, Shayaha. Udadhi is ocean, and Mahat is great. So the one who reclines or who rests in the great ocean. So in which great ocean does Bhagavan Narayana rest? So that is explained by Acharya, that is Samhritya Sarvabhutani. So in the dissolution process during Pralaya, what Bhagavan does is Sarvabhutani Samhritya. He dissolves or he draws back all created beings and then makes the entire universe into one great ocean. Ekarnavam Jagat Krutva. The entire creation, the entire world is made into one vast ocean. And in that ocean, Adhishete. So that ocean of the dissolution time is a great ocean without any boundaries, without any limitations. And hence that is Mahodadhi. In that ocean, in that waters of dissolution or pralaya, the one who rests. So he is Mahodadhishayaha. In the Puranas, we see that in the waters of pralaya, Bhagavan Narayana, in the form of Balakrishna, is in the form of Vatapatra Shayi on a leaf of a banyan tree, taking the form of Balakrishna, uh, tasting his own big toe as a small child. We see such a reference or such a manifestation of Balakrishna as a Vatapatra Shayi, and this form has been especially shown to sage Markandeya, and he glorifies and sings the praise of that Vatapatra Shayi Balakrishna, and such a Balakrishna is being referred to by this term Mahodadhishayaha. The next nama is Antakaha. Antankaroti Bhutanamiti. The one who brings about the end of beings. So Anta is end and Antakaha means the one who causes the end. So causes the end of whom? Bhutanam, the beings. So just now, previously, we saw in the previous Nama, Mahodadhishayaha, there the Pralaya Leela of Bhagavan was mentioned. So the one who does that Pralaya Leela is celebrated by the term Antakaha. Bhagavan also puts an end to the beings in the sense that for the mumukshus or those who are in the path of moksha through their jnana and bhakti, of course, he puts an end to such mumukshus. He puts an end to their samsara chakra or samsara avritti. They return back into the samsara chakra that is ended by Bhagavan by granting them liberation. And hence, in that sense also, Lord Narayana is Antakaha. So, with these 8 namas in verse 55, we have thus far seen 520 namas. Om Tat Sat Shri Krishnarpanamastu.